Alrighty, so today we are going to be going over the best World Tournament characters and teams that you guys should be using when you are playing. Now, this video is mainly going to be for people who have not played the mode before, or maybe you have and you did not know what you were doing, so please understand that this is going to be more of a beginner-suited guide to World Tournament. I'm going to show you some of the best characters that you can use, explain why they are the best characters, and then I'm going to go do a run and sort of explain what you need to be doing, and we're just going to do one World Tournament run, and then you're going to rinse and repeat that process and grind to the score that you want to get to. So let's go ahead and get started with the basics of the mode, and we will go from there. Okay, so as you guys can see, your boy has been grinding like hell. I have a lot of points, but here's the thing with this, right? The basics of the World Tournament mode to me is I like to get to 23 million points and then stop. Now you might be asking why 23 million? That is the reward. Like, so if we go over here, you guys can see where it says 2,300 points right here where I'm tapping. That is where you get the last reward that I care about, and that is going to be the Dragon Stones here. Everything after that is Kai's, and then these are 4 wins, which we will accumulate while getting the, the overall sort of, why can't I talk all of a sudden? The overall rewards, right? While doing everything else, we will be able to get that. So if you want to get everything, you can go to 30 million points, but if you're lazy like me, you only have to go to 23 million. Now, let's go ahead and get started with the best character in the game for the mode, and we're going to get started by building the team. I'm going to show you the best characters, then show you the team that I use. It is a little bit different, but not different, but it's like the meta team. So let's go ahead and get started with the character. Okay, so Inma Jr. is absolutely 1,000,000% an essential. If you have him, you absolutely have to use him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, you might be wondering, this guy's kind of old, Vilify. Why would I want to run him? Well, this Inma Jr. in specific has an AoE active skill that you can activate as soon as the turn starts, so long as there are multiple enemies. And not only is this active skill going to be hitting everybody and more than likely one-shotting them, if it doesn't, it is also doing an action break to everybody. So the first attack that hits is going to get rid of everybody's first action. So all of the attacks that are in slot 1, unless someone is attacking more than one time, those are all going to be broken, so you don't have to worry about taking damage. And this guy is just overall going to be the best character for speed in World Tournament. Going as quickly as possible, this is who you want to be using. Find a way to put him on the team no matter what it takes. Make sure that even if you have to run him as a leader and then kind of like work around him, I think that's fine. But this character, Inma Jr. in Piccolo Jr., make sure if you do have his SSR, you go Dokkan Awaken him. You must be using this character in World Tournament. It is going to save you a ton of time. Now, let's get into some other characters that we need to be focusing on. And in this case, we need to be looking at characters that specifically do an AoE in some way, shape, or form. And we're going to go ahead and talk about those now. First up, I have Vegeta and Nappa, the Extreme AGL LR. If you can easy A these guys, that's fine, but if you can't, they are still usable. Make sure when you are using this character that you go for the 12 key up to 17 key super attack, because the 18 key is not an AoE. This guy, for the most part, especially if you have them easy 8, is going to be one-shotting the board or every enemy character every single time, and if not, somebody else will be able to mop up if they don't finish the job, but most of the time they will. This is an extremely well-designed character for World Tournament with the AoE super. They work well with another character we're going to talk about in a moment. Next up, I have the recent Easy 8 Great 8 Vegeta. This guy's attack stats are going to be much higher in this mode now, but honestly, he was already doing like some pretty good work as is. This character, you just toss him in slot 1, let him take a hit or something, and he's going to be fine. My cord's messing up. Give me 1 second. There is a slight drawback to this Tech Vegeta, and that is the fact that you must get the 18 key with him, which is honestly not that hard to do, but the big thing is the fact that his AoE is a bit slow. Now, you might be asking, what do you mean by a slow AoE? It means that the animation of hitting the enemy is like a few seconds, or like more than a few seconds, right? So it's just going to be a longer animation to watch, and that can be a bit annoying when you are seeing the animation a bunch, doing, the prelims, doing all those extra fights. It can be a little bit of an inconvenience when this is a slow AoE. So there will be a character we talk about later that has a super fast one, and then there are going to be more that have some slow ones. So this guy right here, very good option for World Tournament if you have him. If you can put him on the team, I'd recommend you do so. Just keep in mind his AoE is going to be slow from time to time. Next up, I have LR STR Broly. This guy was the king of World Tournament for a very long time after he Easy 8, and then Inma Jr. came around and everything changed. But this guy is a decent option for your World Tournament teams. He's going to be doing 2 AoE supers so long as you don't get the 18 key off the bat. He's going to be getting a guaranteed additional super, so he is very nice. And especially when you are facing Pure Saiyan, or I believe it's Goku family enemies, which is very common in this mode, this is going to be a very nice character for you to run. He has an AoE super and he works out nicely, so if you pulled him from like red zone tickets or something, make sure you get him Dokkan Awaken and use him. He has a fast AoE because he has an old animation, so very nice character to use. Next up, I have Super Easy A TUR Broly. I think this is also another very good option, very similar to the other legendary Super Saiyan Broly, where he has a fast animation, multiple supers, he has orb changing and stuff like that, and support for the rotation when you get the rainbow orbs. So this guy is going to be an extremely good option for World Tournament if you want to run him on a team. Just another AoE super, one of many that we've talked about, so make sure if you do have him, you can put him on a team. Will work out just fine for you. Now, I guess we don't even have to cut for this one. The next one we have is Cell Max. I would recommend that you don't use Cell Max. Now, if he's your only option for an AoE, you can use him, but he has a very slow animation. So if you are like grinding a lot of points with this guy, it's going to feel like even worse. Like the long grind of the mode is going to feel even longer when you are using this character, because it can be a bit frustrating just with the amount of time it takes for the AoE to hit everybody. So again, if you have to use him, if like this is your only option, don't feel bad about it. It's just he's good, but you need the 18 key, and you also are going to have to sit through a long animation. So just keep that in mind. Last but not least, for extreme STR AoEs, this Int Majin Buu here, or STR Majin Buu, excuse me, has an AoE. He has a fast animation, and he is pretty good as well. So another AoE super. Let's move on to the super portion for STR, and there's really one that I want to highlight here for his AoE super, and that is going to be this banner unit Piccolo. If you guys don't recognize the SSR, it is this one here. You've probably pulled him before. He has an Easy A Dokkan Awakening, and he has a guaranteed crit AoE that is extremely fast. This is one of the fastest super attack animations that's not Majunior's active skill AoEs in the game. This guy's going to help you shred through these bosses, or not even these bosses, but other people's teams and stuff like that. Would highly recommend running this character if he is not like, if you're not going to do like the high scoring point method we're going to talk about here in a little bit. This guy is definitely a really good option for an AoE. Let's move on to the next one. Another last-ditch option you could use here is this Cell. His 12 key super attack up to 17 key is an AoE as well. He works out nicely, but I would not recommend running him. He's just a little bit wonky to run on the team, and somebody I would recommend if you have him is Dragon Ball Super Broly. This guy has an AoE. He's going to be doing 2 to 3 supers. He does a decent amount of damage with the fact that he's a quote-unquote more modern Easy A. You know, I think it was early 2024 this guy got his Easy A. So really good character here. Just a little bit dated at this point. It actually might have been 2023 now that I think about it. I don't remember. He's a modern Easy A for all things considered. So he's a decent Easy A, right? Can do a lot of AoE damage, a decent character to run for sure. The last major AoE that I want to talk about in this specific video for AoE supers before we get into everybody else is going to be this version of Majin Vegeta here. His 18 key is really good if you can get all the orbs that you need. You are probably going to have to run an orb changing item in order to run this strategy, but he is going to work out very well with his AoE super. So those are all going to be the damage dealing characters. Let's talk about 2 utility units. I'm sure some of you know where I'm going with this, that are going to be really helpful if you don't have like 6 characters to do AoEs. Here's going to be something that's going to help you save items and make the job a little bit easier. Okay, I know you're a little bit stunned. You're looking at an SSR Jocko right now, but what does this Jocko do? At the beginning of the turn, he stuns every enemy. So what does that mean? You're not going to take any damage. You can just do the turn, and there's going to be another character that does the same thing, and it's going to be this Chaozu right here. Now, you might be wondering, where do I get them? They are SRs that I believe you have to get in multi-summon, so if you don't have these guys, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. But here is something that you can do, right? Like this is, you can just run this Chaozu or run this Jocko, put them on the team, and that's going to help you as well. Now, quickly, if we want to talk about some free-to-play options, I forgot to mention this one really quickly. Prime Battle Krillin, his 12 key is an AoE, and then if we go over to the Extreme Int side of things, this free-to-play Raditz has an AoE super as well. So if you want to run those 2 characters, that could be very good for World Tournament. Now, let's go ahead and move on to some team building aspects of World Tournament. Okay, so we're now going to get into the strategy that I like to run for points in World Tournament. This is going to be the way that I'm doing things, so if you want to follow along, go ahead. This is going to be sort of based on like what the meta is, if you will, what like high-ranking players like to do. And so your leader is going to be Int Majunior. Not too much to confuse there. Like I said, this is going to be the best character in the game for this mode. So if you have him, he is a must. Now, the next character we're going to be putting on the team is the Piccolo, like we talked about right here. This guy is an elite option for this mode as well, and I explained why earlier. He has a very fast AoE, he works nicely with the other Piccolo, and it's going to work out just fine. Now, we are going to bring other characters over here, and that is going to be Majin Vegeta, as well as Vegeta and Nappa. Notice all of these characters, except for one, are going to have fast AoEs. Then we are going to be running for the last Meta World Tournament character. This is going to be Scouter Vegeta, or Grade 8 Vegeta, whatever you want to call him. He is going to work out very well for linking up with somebody like Nappa. So this mode is not going to be as dependent on rotations as we've seen in the past, right? Where, you know, you think about like the Festival of Battles, like where we're thinking about who's rotating with who. We're trying to get in and out of these fights all in one turn and not think about it. So this is somebody that can work very well. Now, the last character we are going to be putting here, and this one is solely for the amount of points that you're going to be getting in your runs, that is going to be LR Future Gohan. This is just, again, so you can get the most points possible per run, and this is sort of the team that I like to run, right? This is not like my concept. Again, this is coming from high-ranking players, what they post on Twitter and stuff like that, but this is like what I'm going to be doing, so that's why I'm showing you it when I go play World Tournament after this and we do the example run. This is what we are going to be doing. So just keep that in mind right here. This is the team that I'm going to be using, but say you can't do this team, let's go ahead and go with a more friendly option, I think, for more players, right? And that is going to be a movie bosses setup. So if we go over here to a movie boss setup, I think that this one is going to work a lot better for other people. What you want to do is you want to bring this Broly right here, just so you can get high stats on your leads. Or what you could do is bring this Cooler, because he's actually going to be a little better as a movie boss lead, because he's also a terrifying conqueror, so we could bring Majunior as well. But if you don't have Majunior, just plug and play one of these AoE characters like Cell Max, like this Broly, right? That is what you're sort of going to be aiming to do. I'm going to be bringing them anyway because they're AoEs. Then we want to go down here, bring this guy, and then what you could do is just simply, like, let's just pretend we don't have Majunior. We could just go grab one of our SSR stunners and do something like that. So this is a way that you could build the team. You just got to plug and play depending on what you are looking for, and that is sort of what you need to do. So now let's go ahead and use the team that I'm going to be using, and I'll show you an example run of how to play the mode, and we're going to be good to go. Okay, so we've now reached the part where we're actually going to be playing the mode. Now, I'm not going to show you literally everything from this. I'll show you what a prelim looks like, and then we will move on to the next part of this. But again, there are two ways that we can go about this. You can either be lazy and just refresh this and do the Piccolo, or what you could do is go in here and filter and ensure the fact that you're going to have a Majunior every single time. If you are a player who is not using Majunior, you are going to want to make sure that you are doing this. So you go to Extreme Int and then filter it by Namekians. That is going to be the fourth category here in this light green. And now we have all the Majuniors we could ask for. So you can see right there, just pick the one on the top, don't think about it, and then we can move on. Now, if you are running this strategy right here, you're probably going to need to bring items. So the items I recommend that you bring are, you're going to bring a Ghost Usher, you're going to bring a shoe item, which is right here. You're going to bring a Fruit of the Tree of Might. These are both for extra ki in case you need to get an 18 key super for your AoE. And then last but not least, we are going to bring a Chi-Lai item for Majin Vegeta in specific, because if you don't have the orbs, you can create them and ensure that Majin Vegeta is going to get his AoE. Now, what you definitely don't want to do is bring a support memory, because that's going to slow you down in between every fight. So now what we can do is go ahead and get started with this team. This is the way I'm going to be running things. Now we can get into it. So we got a bonus chance right away. So I guess that's pretty cool. And now we can see what other people are running. So you just kind of want to operate the board as usual. Just go to the bosses. So the AI are programmed to come to you now. It used to not be like that. Sometimes they would be like a pain in the ass and run away, but that doesn't really exist anymore. So in this case, the character attacking is an SR, so we don't need to use an item. But say this was somebody else, like a hard-hitting enemy or like an LR, what you would just want to do is get rid of the attacks and ensure that you don't take any damage, because keeping a win streak is vital in this mode, so you don't want to play around and stuff like that, so that is what you want to do. Now, like I said, I'm not worried about that King Vegeta. We're going to do this AoE, and we are going to move on to the next fight, right? Because it's not going to be hard whatsoever. So you just keep moving on like this, and you should be good to go. Again, we did get unlucky with, I think, was it double Majunior on the next turn? No, so we got Majunior slot 7, and then another Majunior here. One thing to keep in mind while I'm talking about that is your friend Majunior will never appear in slot 7, because the friend cannot appear in slot 7. So now when we have Majunior, here he is in action. To win this turn, this is all we do. we swipe up, and he's going to AoE everybody. It's going to go like this, and it's just going to get rid of everybody. We move on, we get the KO screen, and then we go to the next fight, right? So we're going to rinse and repeat this process until we are at 23 million. I'd like to show you a scenario where it isn't just like exactly what we need. Like I could show you, like potentially like Majin Vegeta wouldn't get his super or something like that. But if you do end up getting Majuniors like this, just toss him in slot 2, maximize his links, and then you are good to go. So this is a pretty easy setup here. Again, not too much thinking. I think one thing you need to prioritize when you're doing this mode is having something on the side. You have to kind of focus, not like focus, but you have to pay attention a little bit to make sure that you are like kind of maximizing things. You're putting characters in the right spot. You're not losing, but it's not like you need to be sitting down laser focused like you would be, say, like doing the hard stages of Festival of Battles, right? You just need to keep grinding this, and eventually you will find yourself done. So we're just going to rinse and repeat this process, and it's going to look the same basically throughout the rest of this whole thing. So now we do that, we get our rewards, yada, 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 and then we just continue to move on. So again, what we do is we go in here, we pick a junior, and then we go. That's just going to be the process over and over and over again. Now, somebody I forgot to mention, I guess we could talk about it while we're doing this other fight, is Tree of Might Goku, right? This Tree of Might Goku is not a bad AoE. This Gotenks right up here isn't a terrible AoE. The AGL one, he's pretty quick. So that is somebody you can also consider running. There's a lot of AoE supers. I couldn't get everybody in this one. It's just I'm not running either of those on the meta team, and that Tree of Might Goku is a bit of a slow AoE, so you'd probably want to stay away from him. And it's the same thing with Int Kid Gohan as well. He is another slow AoE, so you want to try and it's all about maximizing time here. It's all about being efficient, trying to get this over with so you don't have to play it anymore, because a lot of people have a negative sort of thought process when it comes to World Tournament. I don't blame them. But what we're trying to do is get in, get out, get our rewards, and be done. And this is what you're going to do in order to do that. So we're just going to continue to move, and it's just going to look like this. We're just going to be rinsing and repeating this process. Anytime we get him a junior, we don't need to do anything. But if we do get him let me just kind of like show you an example, right? So in this situation, I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to get Vegeta his 18 key. This is what I would want to do, right? We would just do something like this. And he's also here more just to serve as points. And then, of course, Chilai is not doing a good job. Change the Tech Orbs, please, and the STR, if you could be nice. That works. Yeah, so she did exactly what I needed to do. Then we pop this right here, and we would just grab these, and Vegeta would have his AoE. I'll do it for the sake of the video, just to show you, like, a situation like that. But what we would obviously do is want to swipe up. So, again, just showing it off for the sake of showing it off. This Majin Vegeta's AoE, 3.2 is nothing crazy, but it works for World Tournament. That usually takes care of the board every time. So something that you want to do, you just continue this over and over and over again. This Vegeta can also stun on his AoE, so that is pretty helpful. But now you understand the process for World Tournament. You can grind it yourself. Again, it shouldn't take too long. I think roughly if you just like sit down and go until you're done, in my experience, it takes about 2.5 hours, like of just straight playing. So what you could do is play an hour today, play an hour tomorrow, right? Just grind 10 million points today, 10 million points tomorrow, and before you know it, you will be done. It's not too bad. It just can take a little bit of time. So you guys can see, got pretty lucky with the bonus chances. We got 3 on the first run. Don't get used to that. That's not very common. YouTuber luck is real, I guess. But what we want to do, again, just do this, get him a link, swipe up, and we are done with World Tournament. So just continue to rinse and repeat this process. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, or join the community Discord in the link in the description. I got to promote that more because we have an active community over there willing to help you guys throughout any struggles that you might have with the game. So I hope you enjoyed this guide. Let me know what team you're using. Let me know how much points you're grinding for, if you're grinding for top rank or anything like that in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.